This video is looking at Cold Pants, I know, from the grade 4 book. So if you've been looking at this piece in your lessons, this video should help you out. Today I'm going to be focusing on sections A and B, so that just takes you up to the top line of page 2. But that's all I'll be focusing on today in this video. We'll break every bar down in each section and put it all back together as usual. Do section at a time and then play both back to back. So starting on section A, your first 2 bars are kind of like your introduction fill. So your first bar, it's very simple. You have a fill which is 6 quavers on your snare drum. The bass drum is going to play that first one. And then we've got a crash after that with the bass drum. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in total. The 7th is the crash. So it would go like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now your second bar is basically resting for the first 3 beats. And then we've got a drag on the 4th beat. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. So the strike of the drag. So the bounce and then the strike of the drag will come on beat 4. So 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay. So that's your first line. Okay. Easy peasy. Now we're into your actual rhythm or actual groove here on the second line. Now we've got this bar that we're going to be playing over and over and over again. So your bass and snare drum pattern is this. Like that, over and over again. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, your hi-hat is just playing quavers through the whole thing. Okay, so you've got that for 3 bars in a row back to back. The first bar has a crash. And then the 4th one starts off the same, but that snare, that last snare, we're going to follow that with a crash. Like that. Okay, so I'll do that first line for you. Okay, now the second line is the first 3 bars of this, note for note exactly the same, just no crash on that first bar. But you've got 3 bars of that groove exactly the same. And then on the 4th one we've got this fill, we've got a crash, and then we have 7 notes on your snare drum with a crash and then a snare and a crash at the end. So like this. In fact, it's not a crash at the beginning, it's a hi-hat. That. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ba, ba, ba. So. Okay, so I'll do that second line for you. Remember, the first 3 bars are the same as the line above. Okay, the line below, now this is where things change a little bit. So we've still got the same rhythm for 2 out of the 4 bars here. The second one and the 4th one are different. So the 4th one I'll touch upon now because it's the same as what we've done in the first line of rhythm here. Like that, okay? But the second one, we're putting an extra snare and bass drum in the middle of the groove. So the groove you have just now, but we're putting an extra 2 snare drums and 1 extra bass drum. It would go like this. No extra bass drum, just 2 extra snare drums. That one's I did quieter than the extra one, so we call them ghost notes. Okay, so we've got a crash at the beginning of the groove. We've got that extra snare drum bar in the middle, and then we've got the same bar at the end as the first line. So I'll do that whole line for you. And then the next line, the last line in the section, it's basically the same as what we've just done up until the 4th bar. However, the 4th bar, we're taking the fill, and just changing the voicing of that. So instead of doing all 7 notes on the snare drum, we're doing 2 on the snare, 2 on the high tom, 1 on the floor tom, 1 on the bass drum, then back to snare. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then up to your crashes. Like that. Okay, we'll do that one more time. And then I'll do that whole line for you. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll go from the beginning, so that's the whole of that first section, section A, take from the beginning of that right down to the end, and then we'll go on to section B. Okay, here we go. I think I had an extra crash in that second last line there, so sorry about that. So now we're looking at part B, and what we've got is we're playing a groove on the ride. The bass drum and snare drum pattern, the snare drum's shifted back 1. So instead of being on beats 2 and 4, it's on the and of 2 and 4. So 1, 2, and 4. Like that. Okay? So the bass drum pattern is fairly simple. Okay, so the first bar is we're just playing on the ride. We've got a crash at the beginning, and we're playing that. That's sort of bump, bump, bat, bat. The next one's the same, but we then get 2 extra bass drums, one before and after the second snare. Okay. The next one is just the same as what we've done, but with the bass drum before that second snare drum taken out, and we've got a crash at the beginning. And then the last bar, we're putting the bass drum before the snare drum back in, and then the one after it is much more of a snap right after it, kind of like what we've done in section A with the crash, snare, crash. So we'll go like this. Like that. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll do that entire bottom line of page 2, so that's the first line of section B. line, so the first line of page 2, this is the next line of section B, starts off exactly the same. So the first 2 bars are identical. Okay, and then the third bar, we're just cutting it short, so we're going. So we're getting that bass from before where the snare would be, but then we're cutting it on the snare but crashing. And then we've got a fill here. So we've got a drag into 2 triplets all on the snare drum, and then we've got these 3 notes at the end, which almost it will make it sound like an elongated triplet, but it's actually just 2 quavers and a crotchet, so 2 half beat notes and a 1 beat note. So the rhythm would go da. So 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 like this. The bass drum playing da 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 like that. Okay, so it would go. Cool. So I'll do that whole line now, so all 4 of those bars. Then I'll put the sections together. Then we'll go back, go from the beginning, A and B. Okay. That's that. Okay. Right. Section B as a whole. Here we go. Section B. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go right back to the beginning and play from section A. I'm going to take this at a relatively comfortable speed, so maybe not quite full speed, but maybe a little bit faster than what we've been looking at in your lesson. And what I will also be doing is going straight from A into B. I'm going to ignore the opens and closes of the hi-hats just now. In section A, there's a lot of them, the circle, the plus. We've not covered them in your lesson. I'm not going to cover them in this video. I'll do a separate one where we're looking at them specifically. I just want you to be playing the rhythm just now, as we've spoken about in here or the other room, whatever school you're at. But yeah, we'll do a separate thing looking at that, whether I do a video or we just cover it in the lesson. I've rambled on. Here's from the beginning, section A, all the way through to the end of section B. Okay? There you have it. That's section A and B of Cold Pants. So use the video to help you practice, help you learn, remind you of how rhythms should go. If you are stuck on a certain bit, go back, watch it as many times as you need before you've got it. And yeah, any other questions, I'll see you in your lesson. But yeah, hopefully this helps. I will catch you next time. Bye bye.